Hi plant buddies! So today we're going to be talking about fertilizing my succulents and also treating them with a systemic pesticide all at the same time. This is the brand I use by BioAdvance. It's called Tree and Shrub Protect and Feed for 12 months. It's, I guess, an insect protection for 12 months along with fertilizing your succulents. Now, I don't only use this brand. There are other brands on the market just like it. So, in my experience, any of them work. I normally just buy what is available to me at my local Home Depot. So this is how the granules look when you take it out of that container, and I usually like to put it in a small thing like this and then use a small spoon to put it over the soil of whatever succulent I am trying to treat. This right here is, I believe, an Echeveria Golden Glow. It's starting to grow the way it's supposed to again, nice and compact. As you can see here, it grew really attenuated. I actually ordered this online and it did not come in a very great condition. It looked like that. It had all these damages on it and it was just really bad. But you know, the plant was healthy overall, other than it was attenuated and it had some damage on the leaves. So I got a refund back. They didn't take back the plant or anything, and now I'm just giving it the right conditions so it can grow better. So let's put some of our granules here. Read the measurement on the instructions of the bottle. As far as how much of these granules you want to put. I normally put about a teaspoon over the soil, and although it does say 12-year protect and feed, I do have to apply this every 12 months because whenever I apply this, I actually won't see bugs for 6 months, but after 6 months they do start to show up again. So that's my cue on when to retreat. So over here we have a pot of mixed cuttings. Same thing, this is about the amount that I put. Depending on the size of the pot, I add just a little bit more. So because this is this is not a 6-inch, this is about a, I think, 8-inch pot. Maybe 7 or 8 inch. I'm not sure. Depending on the size of the pot, I do add a little bit more or less, and it also depends on how much plants you have in there for the granules to fertilize and protect. So the way these granules work, don't mind me talking. I'm just going to be interchanging the plants that we are going to apply our granules to. So the way that these granules work, right, is that, you know, when you apply this, it doesn't work right away. It's not gonna kill the bugs on that first day. What happens is you apply the granules and then you water it down. You water it into the soil and it melts, and I'll show you how that looks later. And then the plant's roots absorb the granules, and what happens is that when you say have mealybugs or aphids on your succulents, what happens is that they will start eating the plant, start sucking on its juices, right? And then what happens is it actually poisons the mealybugs and the aphids and whatever bugs are trying to eat your precious succulents. If you've seen any of my old videos, you know, from my garden tours, you'll know that this Echeveria Reunioni Silver Onion is one of my oldest and one of my most favorites in my succulent collection. So it is now time to treat this beauty again. so she doesn't get infested with bugs. So same thing here. I just take a teaspoon. Like I said, depending on how much plant you have in a pot and how big your pots are, you can add more or less of your systemic pesticide granules. In this case, I did about 1.5 teaspoons for this pot because it's a pretty big pot, and there's a lot of succulents competing for all of that in there. This here is my pot of Graptopetalum superbum. I heard the pentandrum has been dropped in its ID, so Graptopetalum superbum, and these are all Graptopetalum superbums except for this one right here. This is actually a Purple Delight cutting that I planted in there along with them, since they sort of look alike, but the rest of them are superbums. This one differs a little bit in leaf shape, although the same color. It is a Purple Delight. So I already added the first tablespoon for this pot because it's a bigger pot with a lot of plants in it. This will need about 2 teaspoons of our granules. So I'm just putting it all over, just like so, and that's how I apply my granules. I think another very popular brand that people use is Bonide pesticide, I think that's what it's called. But I've been using this pesticide for the past 3 years, and I have had absolutely no problems, and my plants are happy. So I kind of just stick with this brand or whatever is available. Here is a small pot of my Graptovaria Douglas Hut. Yeah, Graptovaria Douglas Hut stem propagation. So it had 2 bigger heads. What I did, one of them is right there. It just grew roots, so that's why it got leggy. It was while I was rooting it, but that's one of the heads. And anyways, I cut them off for stem propagation, and now this is how many babies one stem has given me. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 babies on that stem so far, but I'm pretty sure more will come out. And then the smaller stem, you can see right there, also gave me about 3 babies. And then this here, these are leaf propagations that grew on their own. I didn't even know about them because it was kind of all under, it was under the bigger plants when they were in there. But yeah, I've got a lot of babies in here. So if you want a succulent that multiplies quickly, that is easy to take care of, although it is a little bit prone to fungus, buy a Graptovaria Douglas Hut. I actually don't remember the last application of these granules for this particular succulent. So let's just boot a teaspoon over onto that soil. There you go. Graptovaria Douglas Hut, guys. And here we have a, I believe is a sedum golden glow that has been neglected and has gotten very leggy. Look at that. But actually, the time that it got leggy was the time that I was rooting it as a cutting. So that's okay. And I cut it from this, right? Look at this, guys. But doesn't that look like a completely different plant? Unless it's not from that, I don't know. But anyways, it is time to put the granules onto this one as well. Smaller pot, so a little less than a teaspoon. So about that amount. I think that's enough. Maybe just a little bit more. And my poor baby's necklace, Chrysula baby's necklace that I keep forgetting to water. Let's put some of our granules in there. Go. So guys, one little reminder though, when you are applying this, it's fine when it's dry, but when it does get wet, say by rain or when you water, make sure that you don't get the granules on the leaves as much as possible, because when it does get wet, I noticed that it does tend to burn the succulent leaves. Okay, so whatever it's on, wherever it melts, if it is on the succulent leaves, it will burn them just a little bit, and I'm pretty sure you don't want that, right? So I'm just applying on basically almost all the plants, because these were pretty much all treated at the same time. So there you go. I pretty much put fertilizer on. There's the chicken again. I pretty much put fertilizer on all of my plants, the granules, and now we will spray it into the soil. So what happens here is, actually after you put the granules, you just kind of water as usual. But as per instruction, it says that when you do water these granules in, you don't want to water your succulent soil to the point where it's leaking out at the bottom, because then it's wasting the chemical in your granules. So what you want to do, if your plant is fairly dry, instead of watering, you might just want to spray the soil like so. Okay, you see it melting, right? Please don't mind that chicken. I don't know why it decides to do that when, of course, I'm talking in my videos. Maybe it doesn't like me talking, or maybe it wants to be a part of the vlog. I don't know. Sometimes they're just like all there. There's 5 chickens at the same time. And these are wild chickens, guys, in the boonies in my backyard. Sometimes it's kind of creepy. But if the world ends, will never go hungry. There's so many wild chickens in there. So you can see the granules, right? As I spray, just melt into the soil. So it says on the bottle that you actually don't want the water dripping out of the pot. You just want to get the soil wet so that the roots can absorb the granules. So that's how you do that. You just basically, I mean, what makes it easier is just to water as usual, but I just wanted to show you how it was, you know, how we're told that it's supposed to be applied. I just did the same thing to this one, just kind of spray it down. Spray this one some more. But okay, I'm having a little bit of a problem with my little spray bottle over here. It is not working with me, so I will end it here. You guys do get the whole point of it, right? So you know, for those of you who only like to treat for bugs and pests with organic stuff, that's completely fine. I have tried it all before turning to systemics, but I do live in a very hot and humid climate where bugs thrive. So as much as I would like to stay natural and organic, it just does not work for my succulent garden, and I am my plants are continually eaten by bugs. So I had to go pretty much the systemic route, and now I only have to treat them twice a year, and they're completely fine pretty much for the rest of the time. And as you saw in the video, the rest of these guys were, you know, I also applied the systemic too. I'm just gonna wait for the rains to water them and melt that into the soil. So guys, I hope this video helped you somehow. This is Christine from the Succulent Buddies. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.